Hello, and thank you for joining me today. This is Taliesin McKnight. Today I'd like to talk about laying tricks. This is part of my series on Louisiana Voodoo. So this is about Louisiana Voodoo, and this is the magical practice of laying tricks. This is a basic concept in Voodoo. Now, what is laying tricks? What does it mean to lay a trick? When you lay tricks, what you are doing, it is the placing of a spell at a location. Laying tricks means basically putting a spell in a place, a strategic place. So, for example, you can write a wish. If you want to bring good luck to yourself, you can write a wish, burn it, and then sprinkle the ashes around your porch or your home. So the sprinkling of the ashes is the laying of the trick. I'm going to talk also about crossing. The word crossing is the same thing as putting a curse on someone or a hex. Crossing is putting a curse. Uncrossing is reversing a curse. So the word cross is the same thing as saying a jinx or a curse. So, voodoo has a very bad image in the movies and stuff, voodoo dolls and stuff like that. This is not often the case. Many voodoo practitioners are really good people. They have morals. A lot of them are good Catholics. And so many voodooists do not do crossings or curses. For example, a gree-gree is a voodoo doll. Voodoo dolls are often used to heal people, to bring good luck to people, to bring love, good positive wishes. So a voodoo doll is not about sticking pins in it, y'all. A gree-gree or voodoo doll could be to heal someone. A lot of voodoo is about doing good for other people and helping people. So anyways, laying of tricks is laying of a spell, putting a spell in a certain location. If you want to cross someone or put a curse on them, and like I said, voodoo's not all about that. It's got a bad rap. A lot of them are really good people. But just for educational purposes, if you want to put a curse on someone, you could write a wish of ill luck, and then you could sprinkle it at their doorstep. Or you could take put a curse on something, take the candle wax from a candle magic spell you did for a curse and bury it under your enemy's doorstep. Is a way of crossing. It's laying a trick because you put it somewhere. Now, if you want prosperity, you could cast a spell for prosperity, and you could put the leftover wax or a talisman, a mojo bag, something like that. You can put it at a construction site for a bank. That's another way of laying tricks, is that you place the spell at a construction site. The basic idea is that as long as the building stands, your spell will stay in effect. As long as the building stands. The type of building doesn't have to do anything with your spell, but it does help. If you want to work prosperity magic, you can do it at a bank construction site where they're building a bank. Simply put the gree-gree into a wall or in the ground where they're building the bank, and it'll be into the bank's walls. The laying of tricks could be putting an object where someone will touch it. It could be strategically placing a spell where someone will touch a powder or herb, and then it'll put a spell on that individual. It could be, you could lay a trick in a tea that someone will drink. You could put it in food. You could bury a spell. If you find a crossing or a jinx in your home that someone has placed on you, you can burn it to neutralize it and then sprinkle it around a tree to neutralize it. You could make write a wish, burn it, and then sprinkle it on your doorstep. You sometimes laying a trick. You could lay a trick or a spell under, bury it in your yard for prosperity. Bury prosperity herbs in a conjure bag to bring prosperity. Or you could take $50, put it under your front doorstep. That's a laying of a trick. The idea is every time you walk over the floor mat or the doorstep, every time you go in and out of the house, you are drawing money. So you have laid a trick under the doorstep so that you are bringing prosperity each time you enter and exit the home. It is laying a trick is the placing of a spell somewhere. Sometimes a spell could be placed in a potted plant, so that as the plant grows, so does your desire grow. Now the problem arises is when the plant dies. What if the plant dies? You need to take care of your plant, y'all. So that is the idea of laying of tricks. A laying of a trick in Louisiana Voodoo is the placing of a spell in a certain location. Sometimes you could place a spell under the carpet. Sometimes you could place a conjure bag or something, sew it into clothing, sew it into the curtains, sew it into the bed covers. You could take herbs of love and romance and sew it into your mattress to bring greater sex into your relationship with someone. If you want to make a lover faithful, you can take a part of their clothing, tie it in a knot, and bury it in the yard. The burying is the laying of a trick. So the laying of tricks in Louisiana Voodoo is the placing of a spell at a certain location. Sometimes it could be where a person would walk over it or touch the object and the spell would affect them. Sometimes it could be placed in food. A trick could be laid in a potted plant where the plant will grow and flourish, so will your spell. It could be placed at a construction site. Sometimes, for very serious spells, you could lay a trick in a graveyard. Sometimes you could bury a spell into a graveyard. But if you're going to do that, then you need to make an offering to the spirit of the dead in the cemetery. You should leave an offering to the spirit of the dead. That is important. You have to have a reverence for the spirits. And so the laying of tricks, as I said, is the placing of a spell somewhere. It is putting it in a certain location. And sometimes this is referred to as fixing the trick because it is fixed. It is sealed by being buried in the yard, if it is fixed. And so this is an introduction into the magic of Louisiana Voodoo, and this is called the laying of tricks. Anyways, I hope this was informative for you guys. Thank you for joining me, and once again, this is Taliesin McKnight on Louisiana Voodoo, y'all. Have a good day, y'all.